All right, let's talk about 2025, because this is shaping up to be the year the electric vehicle completely takes over. And listen, this isn't some far-off prediction. It's a massive boom that's happening right now, and believe me, it's going to affect every single one of us. So let's dive in and break down what's going on and why you should care.
Just look at this number, 17.1 million. That's how many new electric vehicles were delivered worldwide in just the first 10 months of 2025. I mean, to put that into perspective, that's more than all the cars, gas and electric, sold in the entire European Union last year. The shift is happening, and it's happening way faster than anyone thought possible. But here's what really tells the story. That number represents a 25.5% jump in demand from the year before. That's not just steady growth, folks. That is an absolute explosion. It's the sign we've all been waiting for. The EV market has finally hit its tipping point.
And all of this leads us to what we're calling the 2025 EV takeover. This isn't just a big deal for the car industry. No. Analysts are looking at this as one of the fastest, most significant tech transformations we've seen this entire decade. And it's not slowing down, not even a little bit. Projections show that by 2026, which is right around the corner, we can expect to see 116 million electric vehicles on roads all over the world. This is not a trend, it's not a fad, it is a fundamental change in how we get around. But here's the thing, this whole revolution is so much bigger than just the car sitting in your driveway. What we're really seeing is the transformation of our entire transportation ecosystem. Seriously, think about it. We're seeing electric buses just silently gliding through our cities. You've got e-scooters and e-rickshaws zipping through traffic in places all over the world. Huge delivery fleets are going all electric, and all the while, those public charging networks are expanding at a crazy pace, finally starting to kill off that age-old fear, range anxiety. So, what this all adds up to is the birth of a completely new infrastructure. We're talking billions upon billions of dollars being poured into better batteries, super fast charging tech, and local manufacturing by both governments and tech companies. It's a total rebuild from the ground up. So, you know what happens when there's this much change and this much money on the table, right? An absolute race. And that brings us to the global EV race, where you have these established giants and scrappy new players all fighting for a piece of the action. On one side, you've got the big name, Tesla. They just launched a new low-cost Model 3 in Europe to really stir the pot. But at the same time, they're feeling the heat with some serious sales pressure and regulatory challenges. But then, on the other side, you have these incredibly ambitious newcomers. We're talking companies like VinFast, BYD, and Tata, and they are expanding globally like wildfire, building new factories everywhere and putting huge pressure on the old guard. Yeah, the race is on. Okay, but let's be real here. A change this big is never going to be perfectly smooth. It's really important to talk about the actual real-world challenges that come with this kind of rapid shift. I know what a lot of you are probably thinking, and it's a totally fair question. Yeah, but isn't finding a charger still a huge pain? It is absolutely one of the most common concerns out there, and it's a huge part of the story. So, the big hurdles, yeah, they're pretty clear. There are definitely still gaps in the charging infrastructure, especially if you live in a more rural area. We have some really legitimate questions about how we're going to recycle all these batteries down the road. And of course, adoption isn't happening evenly everywhere, especially in developing markets that just don't have the same support systems yet. But here's the perspective from the experts. These are just growing pains. Every single major tech shift, from the internet to the smartphone in your pocket, faced these exact kinds of hurdles. They're not signs of failure. They're actually signs that progress is happening so fast that the world around it is just racing to catch up. And really, that's the bottom line. With billions of dollars flooding into clean tech and EV infrastructure, these problems are actively being solved as we speak. The momentum moving forward is it's too big to stop. Okay, so we've talked big picture, we've talked global race. Let's bring this all the way home to the most important question. What does this whole EV boom actually mean for you? Well, here's the breakdown. First off, all that competition is driving prices down, so EVs are becoming cheaper than ever before. Second, those charging stations are popping up everywhere, making them way more accessible. Third, you can save real money, like a lot of it, on fuel and maintenance. And to top it all off, many governments are offering some pretty aggressive incentives that can shave thousands right off the sticker price.
So the main takeaway here is really simple. If you're even thinking about buying a car in the next year or so, an EV is no longer some niche choice for tech nerds. It's now a mainstream option that could genuinely save you a ton of money over time.
The EV revolution, it isn't coming anymore. It's here. 2025